Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy. Welcome to Grassroots Online for the second week. Brought to you by our very proud sponsors, surrounded here by West End, the good people at West End. I'm your host, Tommy Javor, with co-host, the footy chick, Lisa Wright.
Hello, Javor.
Great to have you here, Lisa. Now, Lisa, where are we today? Tell the people.
We are, how exciting, it's Anzac Day and we are doing our whole show from the Portland Football Club. In around about an hour and a half's time, Flinders Park and Portland will be battling it out in the standalone Anzac Day game for the Amateur League this year, Tom.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa.
That's right.
The sun is shining. It is a beautiful day. The crowd is building. Some people can't park their cars very well, so we're parked a long way away, but that's a story for another time. And later on, I'll go into what Anzac Day means to myself and to a lot of the other people. We'll be talking to coaches, we'll be talking to fans, we'll be having a competition, perhaps a relay, and bringing you every aspect there is to bring on what happens within an Anzac Day clash.
Absolutely. Now, we have got an absolute bucket load to get through, so...
round two for starters.
Round two, yes. So, obviously, this is the start of round three, being this game, but a lot of interesting stuff happened around the league in round two. Let's start off with the Greyhound Racing SA Division 1, Tom.
Was that the Greyhound Racing SA Division 1, Lisa?
It certainly was.
Love my Greyhound Racing, like little horses without jockeys. Anyway, interesting to note, bottom of the table, we haven't seen this before. Is the era of dominance over? Goodwood Saints sitting bottom of the table. Your thoughts, Lisa?
Look, I can't even remember the last time I saw Goodwood on the bottom of the oval. And look, there were probably a few whispers pre-season. Few, not injuries, obviously, retirements and things like that, that thought that Goodwood's time at the top might be over. I don't know whether this is a clear sign of that. It's still in the early days. It
is early days, but not a good sign. They've only kicked 6 goals in both their games, and there are no easy games in Division 1. So they need to get a win sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. Looking
at the other end of the ladder, we've got 3 undefeated teams, and none of those played in last year's grand final. We have Henley, St Peter's, who were recently promoted from last year, winning the Div 2 Premiership, coming from 4th, and Broadview, who finished 6th last year. The one that really stands out to me doing big things is Broadview, ticking all the boxes, if you like. I could throw a few other cliches. It's not just what they're doing. Their team seems to be gelling all together. What's impressing me, Lisa, is the depth. In their reserves team, which had a good 10-goal win, former captain, I guess, Mikey Stevens.
Yeah,
yes. Absolute superstar, former state centre-half back. Big bad bustling Brendan Parker, formerly North Adelaide centre-half forward. And a young fellow who I mentored in his youth, so hopefully he's forgotten all those lessons and he'll go alright. Young Jamie Howcroft, pace to burn, a little bit of dirt and anger about the boy, just like the old man. Looking forward to watching him develop and evolve into a good Div 1 footballer.
Absolutely. Let's move on to Adelaide Airport Division 2.
Yes, there's a few teams up flying in the Adelaide Airport Division 2, Lisa. One of them, of course, is Portland, who will feature in today's game. We talked them up after beating Port District in round 1, but we didn't really think they'd go to Eastern Park and get the chocolates. They did by a point. Probably a surprise win there. They keep surprising us.
Absolutely. I mean, not many people or many teams actually go to Eastern Park and come away with a win. So to come away with a 1-point win is probably even better for them. They'd be feeling pretty much on top of the world at the moment. I reckon we'll speak to Ricky Steamboat Pierce about that just very, very shortly.
We certainly will. Now, one thing we did preview last week was the Battle of the Reds. It was actually PAC who got up over Flinders Park by 9 points. I'm sure Flinders Park will be looking to reverse that result today against Portland. And the other one, this is somewhat of a phenomenon. This is
absolutely, yeah, this is amazing.
Old Ignatians, who we didn't think could do much this year. 7 goals, 4. Doesn't sound like a winning score, but it is when the opposition kicks 21 behinds. Uni, 4 goals, 21, 45. 1-point win despite 14 more scoring shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wanted to give a yay to Port District, who have chalked up their first win for the year as well.
Won't be their last. Now, I understand you actually caught some fantastic Div 2 footage.
I certainly did, and we may or may not be able to get this up on the screen, but I went to watch half of the A-grade game at Modbury versus Tea Tree Valley on Saturday night for their quintuple
Quintuple?
Are you sure it's quintuple? Okay, quintuple. They played 5 matches anyway. The Teacher Gully were up by around about 3 or 4 goals at half time before I left, but Modbury in fantastic fashion came from about 4 goals down in the last quarter to gain a 2-point lead with only a couple of minutes to go, and then one of the Hoffmeyers kicked a goal after the siren to blow the lead out to 8 points. So huge effort from Modbury, who I believe was actually missing their Div 2 medalist from last year, Mr. Davey.
Yeah, they're super cricketer, super all-round sportsman, young Mr. Davey.
Sure, very quickly, the Villies Div 3.
Yes, Village is Div 3, and at the moment it's Payneham and Kilburn taking all the pies in the Village Div 3, both remaining undefeated, both with tough tasks this week. Kilburn head down to Paraka at Limbon Park. Paraka yet to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Paraka really come out all guns blazing. Very proud club, so many super great juniors. Super great, interesting. I'm talking your Didacs, I think Dwayne Russell, Craig Bradley, all from Paraka, proud heritage, and I don't think they want to be 0-3.
Now, one score that, I think they went over the door. I think one score that probably stands out for me actually is Pembroke in their win over Paraka over the weekend. 13-14-92, defeated Paraka 9-8. Interestingly enough, Josh Starkey has been accredited with kicking 17 of their 13 goals.
It's a fair effort there by young Starkey. I think that might be some sort of typo.
I think it might have been 7 goals.
It might well
fair
have
effort
been.
for 17 though. Quickly, Army Reserve Div 4, probably nothing out of the ordinary there, but fair to say at this point in time that Scotch and the newly named Unley Mercedes Jets are probably looking the front runners at the moment.
Yes, the Army Reserve Div 4. The Army Reserve, when we need them, we are surely in big trouble. But Unley Mercedes Jets, I had a chance to have a chat with Troy Hall, interviewed Troy Hall last week, their coach. He's a country football, he's come down for the last couple of years, doing great things, just going along quietly, and I reckon they're the real smoke in this division. It's obviously not that big a call, they're sitting top, but doing really good things, good depth, and one of my mates went out and watched them and said they looked the goods.
Absolutely, and quickly, Div 5, probably the surprise there for me is North Haven, suffering their second loss, obviously, in 2 games to the hands of Fitzroy.
Fitzroy!
Yes, for a club that recruited 20-plus players during the off-season.
North Haven.
Yes, of North Haven I'm talking about. Doesn't quite seem like they've gelled together yet. Hopefully they don't start to gel when they play us.
And 20 is the magic number because Fitzroy would have lost their 20th game in a row, going 0-18 last year. So great effort by the Roy boys. They weren't talked up pre-season, and just great for them to have a win. And I know what it's like to wait 20 games to have a win. It would have been a great night at the club.
Absolutely.
And big one this week, Lisa. 2 undefeated teams. Who are they playing each other?
That would be Glenunga, funnily enough. So Chatty Burke would have to be pretty happy with his efforts out there at the moment. Taking on top side Hope Valley.
Yep, yeah, so it'd be interesting. Hope Valley, of course, had a good win on the weekend against West Croydon, who were coming off about a 30-goal win, so you must have been pleased with that, Lisa.
Yeah, we were very surprised with that, and we actually kept them to 1 goal for 3 quarters as well, and we then stopped and sort of let them in a bit and ended up winning by about 6. So, yeah, again, as I said, we're happy with the way we're going. We just have to keep doing it.
Of course, I'm threatened by the great Gary McIntosh to give away no secrets on this show, and I'm sure Charlie Wintle has a word in your ear. But I want to ask you about your leading goal kicker. Let me see if I can get this. Is it Buhunitsky?
No, it's Kim Butinsky.
Butinsky.
Yes, very...
the Polish sensation.
Nice-looking young lad. No, very good player. And
what do they call him?
They call him Gambo.
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 Gambo, because, I don't know, he runs around a bit like Gambo, and he has a very nice
like
girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Gambo.
Oh, and what's her name?
Gambo. Jess.
Hello, Jess.
Hello, Jess.
Moving right along.
Moving right along, yes.
That was Lisa Wright's Division 5.
Division 6, Lockleys. Everyone wrote them off pre-season, but they are sitting very nicely on the ladder.
Knocking off Uni, who had a win first up. That was an interesting result. They were hard to tip. A lot of, I guess, the wet weather. It was wet all day when I played. Must have been wet almost everywhere in Adelaide.
I reckon it might have been just quietly.
Worked that out myself. Yeah, a lot of surprising results. Even Trinity over Centrals, and Ingle Farm still yet to win as well.
Yeah, the unit's probably not getting off to the start they'd like. Perhaps Dutchy's having a bit of lack of sleep because of his new name.
And just watch out for the Mediterranean man-tan that is Jeff Riddle, doing great things at Mawson Lakes 2-0.
Mediterranean
man-tan.
Isn't he Fijian?
No, whatever. Let's not get bogged down in heavy semantics.
Anyway.
Well done to Riddler, Robbie O'Gorman and Mercy Emery, doing great things out there with Rendy and with the club.
Finally, Div 7 shock up for their first win for the season over North Pines, 10-8-68 to 8-17-65. North Pines, bad kicking is bad football.
It is, and a massive turnover from that premiership team last year. They elected not to go up. I guess you can do that these days. But apparently they only had 1 or 2 players from that team last year.
Absolutely, and when I say that as well, Henley, who came down from Div 6, had an absolutely massive win over Flinders Uni. Henley's D grade, or we'll call them A grade for this division, are the type of team that tend to do really, really well in Div 7, but tend yet to struggle in Div 6. And there really isn't that much of a difference, so you'd be asking questions.
No, they're very hot in Div 7, but the Iceman, Daryl Pearce, when he goes up to Div 6, unfortunately they go cold.
Anyway,
You like that?
Oh, you're hilarious. Anyway, we've got plenty coming up for the rest of the show. What we might leave you with at the moment, though, is some fine words of wisdom in the form of Coach's Corner from Mowbray coach Matt.
Good work with your tackling and being smart with your tackles, all right? That's been good, all right? Just make sure this quarter we're first to the ball. It's been good in terms of our voice when we got the ball. First to the ball. Don't do anything outrageous. We just play. I said to Toddy that last kick, he tried to get cute. Down the line long, all right? We create the contest and then we just reset it.
Welcome back, Rooters. Now, this is a scoop because I've managed to get the A-grade coach of the Portland Football Club. Welcome to Grassroots Online, the Steamboat, Ricky Pearce.
Good morning.
Now, Ricky, it is great to have you here. A lot of people say we've been separated at birth, very similar hairstyles, and of course you played league football for Nord, and I got cut from the under-15s, but apart from that, a lot of similarities. You must be pleased as punch with Portland so far this year, sitting 2-0.
2-0 is very good. We are. A lot of people didn't give us a chance to win a game, let alone be 2-0. And we've been concentrating on the things that we're good at and putting all that in place. And you can see it coming together. We haven't played our best football yet, and we haven't put our best team on the park yet.
Well.
So, some good signs. Yeah.
And there were no mugs you knocked off either. It was Port Districts and then Eastern Park at Eastern Park. Now you've got a chance to avenge last year's grand final loss to Flinders Park.
The first one, probably they're a very good side, Port District. And I have a little bit of knowledge on a lot of their players, so I spent a fair bit of time in the matchups. Eastern Park coming back from Divvy 1 into Divvy 2, they were good. They were very forward the ball. They backed themselves in and they got some dangerous players. As for a revenge of a grand final, we win this game by 20 goals. I don't think they give us a grand final for it, do it? So
a premiership. It doesn't turn a premiership round.
Yeah. So no, this is about 2012.
Yep.
And we had the boys come to play.
And I mean, every coach says no game is every game is important as the other game, but today is an extra special game. It's the Anzac Day clash, and it's a clash that's very important to me personally. And how did the innovation of Portland being a part of this Anzac Day clash come about?
I've been involved in a couple before, and I think it's Australia's proudest day.
Yeah, I agree completely.
I relished the opportunity to be able to get a football club involved in it. And Luke Hosey.
Who, sorry?
Yeah, him. Luke and I did a fair bit of work in the background. We were trying to get it up that we'd play for last Friday night, so we get a decent rest, but go back into the glory days of the 80s. I can remember playing at Norwood, and we played on a Saturday v Bays, Geelong on the Tuesday night. Port Magpies.
Is that escort cup type situation? Yeah.
Port Magpies.
I'm old enough to remember all that, unfortunately.
Yeah, Port Magpies on the Saturday, Essendon on the Tuesday night, and back down to North Adelaide and won 11 straight. And we can do that in 3 weeks, and we were working full time. And the training is probably nowhere it is at the elite level now, where it's a business. So
That'd have been 85.
85, very good.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's after Norwood come from fifth spot to win the grand final.
Yes, yeah, in 84, of course.
Yeah, so that, and people concerned about that. No, will you be able to back up after, from the Saturday to the Tuesday, or Wednesday, whatever it is, and yeah, easy. We've done a good rehab, we've planned for it, and you can't not want to be involved in Anzac Day.
Yep. Now, I mean, it's a huge game, Portland Flinders Park. Now, you touched on Luke Hosey, who, I mean, a lot of us would know him as a pain in the arse, but he is a great analyst of the game. I'm sure he helps you out, and there's a lot of key matchups today. Let's talk about some of the matchups, some of the key players. Dodman from Flinders Park, apparently 206 centimetres, that's the male. Going to be tough to find a matchup for him, I think.
I think it's nearly impossible. We've just, the only way we can get the match up right from him is starting from the football. So the midfield on top, that sort of takes his influence out of the game a little bit by the way he receives the ball. If we can make their delivery not quite lace out, he's you're not going to stop him. You just have to interfere with how he receives the football.
Absolutely. A couple of others. Sid Visser's a name that's been floating around for years. Travis Ewan has come across some Grand Acres, but it was Brent O'Hara in the grand final last year who had a big game. What are the plans for him today?
We played that game with my younger fellas under the old fellas' terms. He dictated the game. So I've addressed those things over the last few weeks. He's a class runner. You don't play 200 games of league football and not become a dud. You know? And in amateur league football, he's very smart. He gets his body in the right spot. We're trying to, if this comes to air after the game, what we're going to do. And the people watch the game and see this, what we're trying to do is get my ruckman away from him. So we're going to have a springy. So he actually has to walk into us and try and find the body. So hopefully, if that can get to a stage where we're getting a jump on him, if he wants to wrestle, the third person will come straight over the top.
Yep, absolutely. So some of the keys, Dale Laslett. Now, is it his first year as captain?
First year as captain.
Former Div 4 medalist, I think.
Yes.
I interviewed him a few years back. Fantastic. He was a wingman. Whereabouts is he playing his footy at the moment?
He plays through the midfield. He is a super athlete. I haven't coached anyone or been a part of any player who brings that sort of motor to a game of football. He is an elite athlete with his ability to tackle, and if you watch his game, you'll probably rack up around 20 tackles in a game of football. He is enormous. Yeah, it was interesting when he did win the medal. I interviewed him. The first person he thanked was his dad. I actually was touched by that. I thought that was a fantastic effort. A guy that appreciates where he comes from. So, a couple of your others, your back line, they say premierships, not that we're talking premierships, are built on defence, and the half-back line, Pryor, Chikararo, so I probably said that wrong. Cocciaro? Yeah, we'll call him Kochi.
Kochi and Draper at fullback. I did see him when we played you in a trial this year. All look good, and obviously building a lot of attacks from defence.
We have, they're very, how would you say, they don't leave the line of football. They give us a contest in the air, and they've got very good motors. They run the ball and carry the ball well, and sometimes you don't have to be involved in the first movement, but I like to see them receive it at the second or third movement if we can get that drive, and they can do it all day. They're pretty good motors, and Pryor goes right down the back too.
Absolutely. Look, we want to thank you very much for allowing us access to the club here and in here to do this today. I think it's going to be a great episode of Grassroots, and it's going to hopefully capture the spirit of Anzac Day. One quick question is, you've stolen a Payneham Norwood Union Football Club footy. That was believed from my watch as well. Did you be disappointed with that, mate?
No. It was flat, so we thought we'd put some air in it and kick it into shape, and we'll give it back to
him. And if we get back into Div 2, we'll get it back, will we?
That's if we're still around. We might be in Div 1, you never know.
Guys, thanks very much again, and all the best for today's game.
Appreciate it, mate.
Okay, well, they say behind every great man there is a great woman. However, at the Portland Football Club, there are a bunch of great women. Remember back in the 60s and 70s when they used to have women's auxiliaries? Well, those things were a day of the past, but not at the Portland Football Club. That has been going for well over 50 years and it's still going strong today, which is part of the reason why the Portland Football Club has a fantastic canteen and whatnot facility. Now, the lady that has been here since the beginning is Shirley Brookman, and Shirley joins us today. Hello, Shirley. Hello. Hello. Now, tell us how long exactly you've been working with the Women's Committee at the Portland Football Club.
I think it's 51 years this year. My husband came over to the football one day and said all the old ladies had walked off the committee and they needed some new ones. So that's how it started.
And has your main role here been in the canteen? What else does the Women's Auxiliary do at Portland?
I was the secretary of the club for 8 years, and but we make social functions, and but mainly it's canteen like juniors, and it's pretty full on teas Thursday nights, and we have about 8 junior teams play home Sundays. Canteens open then Saturdays.
I hear you run a pretty mean soup night on a Tuesday night after
yes,
training as well.
Tuesday night, yes, Maxine. I don't know where Maxine is at the minute, but yeah.
So while most ladies' committees, I guess, have died off over the years, what's kept the Portland committee so strong?
I don't know. Good people, and we've all become lifelong friends, and I mean, a lot of them have been here not much less than me. oldest lady's about, I think she's 77, and the youngest one's 51, so it's not a young, you know, they're gradually getting a few young ones to give us a hand.
50 years is a long time for the football club. What's been probably your biggest highlight in that time?
Premierships. Back in the back, Riverside, and then last year getting to the grand final and making our way up as Portland into Divi 2, so it's another. Every year I'm going to give away and then so we can get back to Divi 1.
Well, look, there's all the boys sing your praises around here, Shirley. There's no doubt that Shirley Brookman is definitely one of the, and her women's
yes, and the rest of them. Yes, they're all well, they're all probably going for lay down.
Definitely one of the unsung heroes of the amateur league, and well done, ladies. We all love your work.
Here.
Thanks for having a chat. Thanks.
Welcome to the Anzac Day special, Rooters. Here we are, brought to you by West End, on location at the Portland Thunderdome. Today is the most important day on the calendar, bar none. It's Anzac Day, the day where we pay appreciation and respect to the sacrifices made by those that came before us for opportunities like this today. We're going to watch Flinders Park take on Portland, and now we're going to go meet all the people. We're going to ask them, what does Anzac Day mean to them, and how important is today's game? Stay tuned, Rooters. This is going to be one you're not going to want to miss. Okay, back here we are, Rooters. I've got 3 people from 3 different affiliations, 3 different clubs around Adelaide. Just give us your name and your club.
Christopher, and we're Portland.
Portland Footy Club.
Damien from North Haven.
The Mighty Maggies, and
Lisa from Salisbury.
Also Magpies, is that correct? Beautiful. Now, just going to ask you your tips for today. You'd be tipping Portland, wouldn't you, mate?
Yeah,
as Flinders Park go behind us, like you didn't cop one.
Yeah, I'll head for Portland as well. I think I'll win in a close one.
And I'm going for Portland because my cousin's playing.
Oh, so who is your cousin?
Jolie.
Beautiful work. Okay, one final thing, guys. We're here on Anzac Day. Could you give us your feelings on Anzac Day? Just tell us something about what Anzac Day means to you.
Anzac means a lot to me. My granddad used to serve in Darwin when I got bombed, so I love Anzac Day.
Beautifully said, mate.
Yeah, basically the same. Personal with me, my grandfather as well. World War II, and just another day.
Anzac means a lot to our family. My papa as well was there, but also I've got a cousin at the moment in the army, and my brother's also in the army. So all of our family went dawn services today. So yeah.
Which one did you go to?
I didn't go because I've got my 2 little ones, but my mum that went into the city.
Beautiful. Nice. Well, enjoy the day, guys, and thanks for joining us on Grassroots Footy.
Thank you.
Those of you who've known me for a while would know that this isn't the worst looking lady I've had, but this is Lucy the Beagle. She's from Flinders Park. Tip Flinders Park. How much by, Lucy? 15 points. What does Anzac Day mean to you? Well, Lucy can't speak, but if it wasn't for the sacrifices made by the people before us, we wouldn't be able to have little dogs like Lucy running around. Looking forward to speak to some more real life people. Thanks, Lucy. Go Flinders Park. Well, here we are, just kicking back with, this is Andrew from South Africa. He's got a tight little rig here, the Anzac Biscuits. Andrew, is this your first footy experience?
No, I've seen a few games, but it's the first local game.
No worries. Now, you've set me up with a couple of ladies here. Ladies, what was the names?
Sarah.
And
Hannah.
Just sipping away on a nice shandy. Now, are you girls affiliated with the Flinders Park Footy Club?
Yes, we are.
So, give us a tip for today.
Flinders Park.
Flinders.
And what are you say?
Jake will kick it back in 10.
Yeah,
Jake Fuller will kick it back in 10.
There you go. She does. It's got to be a fair good tip. Now, on a serious note, I might just sit next to the boy now. Tell us, what is Anzac Day? You're obviously from South Africa, but what does Anzac Day mean to you girls?
Well, we went to the march this morning because my grandpa marches every year, so we go and see him. So it's just something that we do every year.
Beautiful.
And it's just a great day to be proud to be Australian.
That's very well said. I think we'll leave it at that. Couldn't have said it better myself. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll be over at half time for another red shandy. Thanks. I'm here with Nicole, who's just finished her shift at Macca's. She's come down for the big game. What's your tip for today, Nicole?
Eyes on the ball.
And your tip on who's going to win?
Portland, definitely.
No worries. And I believe it's your sister, is it, Nicole? Vicky?
Yeah, it is today.
No worries. And your tip for the day?
Portland.
And how much will they win by?
5 points.
No worries. Thanks, ladies. Enjoy the day. Well, I hunted far, I hunted wide, and I've found a scout. It's the Div 6 A-grade coach, Mr. Anderson. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for being on Grassroots Online, and I hope you got that on camera. Little shit. Give us a tip for today, please, mate?
I think both sides started off pretty well, but I'm going to lean towards Flinders Park. I think they're high. Might get them over the line today.
Yeah, they are a very tall team. I saw Dodman out there. He is an enormous man. Now, how are your boys travelling this year?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we've started really well. We've picked up a few new players from the country, so yeah, we're looking pretty good. Hopefully getting stronger over the next few weeks.
1-1?
2-0.
2-0, pardon me. And who you got this week?
We've got Ingle Farm at Ingle Farm.
Oh, worries, big challenge. They'll be looking to get their first win of the year. Now, it is a big day. It's Anzac Day. Tell us, what does Anzac Day mean to you personally?
I think it's just remembering everyone that fought for us, and those that we did lose in the war. So yeah, it's a remarkable day and a day that we really should, to celebrate as well.
No worries. Thanks very much for being on the show, mate. Wish you and your boys all the best of the year as well.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. what a finish, an amazing finish. Portland came from 28 points down at 3/4 time. I'm with the man that kicked the winning goal, Timmy Upton. How does it feel?
Amazing game. I was just lucky enough to have the ball in hands at the time, but 21 blokes today, unbelievable. Who would have thought? 3-0 Portland Footy Club going up to Div 2. We had a lot of knockers, a lot of people saying that we should have spent money and had a crack at trying to be successful in Div 2, but we've done it with a bunch of blokes. We're a massive team and I love playing for them.
I mean, footy's a thousand things happening today. You kicked a few today, didn't you?
3 today, yeah.
3 today, you had a great game. You must be thrilled. Who else do you reckon stood out for your boys?
Look, tough to single in on out. 3 weeks in a row, we've had, like I said, a full team. I don't want to single anyone out because at the moment we're playing like one unit. I'm pretty excited. Like I said, people knocked us into our.
Another question. Steamboat Pierce.
Yep.
Has he been a big influence?
He's a massive influence. Don't let him hear that though, because we're near the end of it. But he is absolutely.
Alright, mate. Go enjoy Anzac Day victory.
Cheers, thank you.
Here with the captain of the Portland Footy Club, sitting 3-0, winners on Anzac Day, just about last kick day. Dale Laslett, how do you feel?
Pretty stuffed. It's been hard to turn around and play on Saturday and then come up again on Wednesday, but it's a good feeling. Behind all day, but we just stuck at it and got the chocolate, so happy with that.
Now, from memory, I saw the matches. Were you on the Sid visit today? Tough opponent?
Yeah, he's a captain for those boys, and last year we sort of went to each other and always have a good contest against Sid, and he's a hard opponent, so I always enjoy having a go.
There's a fair rivalry building up between these two teams. Obviously, they got used in the grand final last year, but do you reckon the mighty Mound boys over there made a bit of a difference? They helped you out when you were 5 goals down.
Yeah, they're good for getting a bit of noise, and if you're down a little bit, you just listen to them, and gets you moving a bit. And so pretty stoked with all the turnout on the hill.
So it's only another 3. Do you get the 10-day break now, or just 3 day break?
Yeah, 10 days.
Oh, beauty. So perhaps you'll be heading into the club rooms for some sponsored products from West End, maybe?
Yeah, definitely a West End or two, and
fantastic.
Yeah, big night. Kim played for Flinders. Let's get him.
No worries, mate. Thanks very much for your time. Enjoy it. I'm here with the Anzac Day medalist from the Flinders Park Football Club. Been good enough to join us. Well done, Solomon Fitzgerald.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. It's a disappointing loss.
Yeah, obviously you gutted, mate. We really appreciate you taking the time. 5 goals up late. What can we say? What can we say about the game?
Well, I guess think the crowd just lifted them, and we kind of just fell behind a bit in that last bit of last quarter. So just very disappointing to go down.
Yep. I mean,
we were up.
Yeah, and that the end that the camera's pointing towards us very much was the scoring end, but you managed to kick a couple late in the quarter. Was there any point you thought you actually had the game won?
Oh, we probably just ruined our own chances going up forward in that last quarter. We probably should have been up by a few more goals, and then it would have been too hard for them to come back. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be in the end.
Nice. Well, a 10-day break now. I'm sure. I mean, a disappointing loss for sure, but still hoping for a very big year from Flinders Park, no doubt.
Oh, definitely. Look, we have a team that can definitely make finals, so we just need to make sure that these closer ones go our way in the future. So look, we can just look forward to the future and hopefully we come up with some more wins.
I mean, you did lead for probably 90-95% of the day. Apart from yourself, obviously you're fantastic. Sid Visser battled harder. What other players have been standouts today?
Oh, look, probably the midfield all played pretty well in patches, but I guess it's probably you can't just play in patches to win games. You've got to put a 4-quarter effort in. But look, our back line probably stood up most of the day. We probably just fell down right at the end there, so it was just disappointing. Yes.
Well, there is. I mean, you played footy on Anzac Day in a thrilling game. I know it's obviously prefer to win, but there is a silver lining. You can head in for some West End now and drown your sorrows, and there's always next week, mate.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining us on Grassroots, and congratulations. You've won the James Hay Anzac Day medal, and that lasts forever, mate.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
Well, we've seen an epic battle. Portland 16-12, 108. Flinders Park 16-8, 104, and a man, sensational gentleman here, coach of Flinders Park, Sean Jackson has been good enough to join us. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks, Tommy. Thanks for having me.
I mean, I would have just told us to go away, but you have been good enough to join us. Tell us, tell us how it unfolded there towards the end.
Yeah, look, we say to our blokes, if we kick 16-9, we win most games. We kick 16-8 and we lost, I suppose. So. 1 point wouldn't have made the difference, but look, I thought we had enough opportunities certainly to win the game. I think we broke it open to 4.5 or 5 goals early in the last quarter, and lost a couple of rotations. Brett O'Hara went off with a hamstring, and then Justin Keatley came off with a hamstring. So they were important losses for us, and we just weren't able to hang on.
Yep, absolutely. Now, there was a point fairly late, I wasn't sure of the exact time, it was about 5 minutes ago, you seemed, you were about 15 points up and they kept bombing it in, you were able to repel. They managed to sneak a goal, and then there was an incident in the middle of the ground, we won't show open, a count was called for. Take us through that.
Well, it's one thing I've never done before as a coach, so I wanted to tick that box. I've ticked that box, and I can tell you I'll never do it again.
It didn't go well. So, just for those of you, in case you don't get in the footage, and I don't think you will, a count was called by your assistant coach?
By a captain. The captain's the only one who can call a count.
Okay.
But there was a lot of people around yelling out that they had an extra player. I looked up on the ground, I saw an extra player in the front half. I looked back in the back half, and we were all one-on-one, so to me it looked like, oh gee, they had... And, you know, everyone sort of, call a count, and then we sort of went, no, don't call it. But obviously the message has got through to the captain to call it, and he called it, and didn't realise the penalty either. It's a free kick and 50-metre penalty. So
got him within the goal, and then in that last frantic 2 minutes, a lot of stoppages. It was always going to be last goal wins, kind of schoolyard lunchtime stuff,
yeah.
And it was young Timmy Lipson maybe who managed to get on the end of one down there. Timmy Upton, yeah. It was Timmy Lipson. Anyway, Timmy Upton kicked a great goal to get him over the line. But let's talk about the positives, mate, because there were some positives. Solomon Fitzgerald was the Anzac Day medalist, had a sensational game.
Yeah, fantastic. He kicked 4 goals, and he was the heart and soul of our side all day. I thought it was a great, worthy winner. And I said to him after the game, really deserved to be in the winning side with an effort like he put in. So that was disappointing for him, but a great game nonetheless.
Yep. Other better players for your boys today?
I thought Sid Visser played pretty well in the centre. I thought Benny George at centre half forward and centre half back controlled whatever position he was in. Shane Hansen, or Reno Hansen, who's back from injury, was good in bits and pieces. Nick Schwarz, pretty solid in bits and pieces.
Yep. One person who probably didn't have the best game today, but he certainly stands out. You'll stand out in the footage. Is Mr. Dodman. What's his first name? Sorry.
Jordan.
Jordan Dodman, 206 centimetres ish. From basketball background, was actually on the 36ers list. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Went to Westies, and he's joined you. I mean, he's going to be a handful for a lot of defences. You think this year?
Yeah. He had a very disappointing game. There's no question about that. And in any given Saturday, I don't think he'd play that badly again. He's going to be very difficult for other sides to match up. And they did it well, Portland. They zoned off and played an extra defender on him and that sort of stuff. But he still should have played a lot better than what he did, and he knows that. And hopefully he doesn't have a game like that again.
It was one of those games where, I'm not saying this to patronise you, but I feel like you were the better team on the day. They kicked 5 goals in maybe 5 or 6 minutes in the second quarter, and then had that late spurt of goals. So they did, when they found a way to win, so you give teams credit for that. How were the boys in the rooms after the game?
Yeah, they were pretty disappointed. I mean, that was an opportunity for us to go 2-2, and now we're 1-3, back against...
2-1.
Sorry, 1-2. We could have been 2-1,
yep.
So we should have been in front. So yeah, they're pretty disappointed. They know it's a game we should have won. Yep. And we had our opportunities to win last week, but I think we played a side last week who stepped up when it needed to be done, and I'm not sure that was exactly the case today. I just thought we
perhaps let one slip.
We let one slip, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're not here to sugarcoat it on Grassroots Online.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I felt you were the better team today. You didn't quite get the job done. Controlled the stoppages, a lot of the midfield battles, and just didn't quite have the icing on the cake in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think we've covered it all. It's good luck to Portland. They're 3-0, and they've come up the same as us, and they won every game by a close margin. So that says to me, there's something there that they can work with. They've got a bit of heart, a bit of character, and good following here today. And it was a good game of footy and a good advertisement for footy, and it's great to play on Anzac Day. It just would have been nicer to win, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, thank you for your time. I know it must be very hard. It's heartbreaking to lose from 5 goals up. I don't ever even get 5 goals up, mate, so I wouldn't know. I only assume. I wish you all the best of the year, and there's always a sponsors product that can help you perhaps drown your sorrows, and we look forward to seeing you again later this year on Grassroots Online.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much.
See ya.
Thanks for sticking with us and joining us on the final segment of Grassroots Online from the Thunderdome here at Portland, and what an amazing, thrilling day that had all the emotions of Anzac Day as expected, And just like on the battlefields, an unlikely hero emerged, and Timmy Upton to kick the winning goal with one of the very last kicks of the day.
Yeah, it was. It was such an exciting day all round, really, wasn't it? It had the atmosphere, it had the people, it had the play. Timmy Upton's last goal, the
smell of the barbecue.
The smell of the barbecue was fantastic. Just before we go, probably good to go through the leading goal kickers. So once again, we're going to see who gets that magic ton first. Michael Demant from Flinders Park, Div 7. Kicked 10 last week to bring his total to 18.
He demand.
He actually shares the leading goal kicker at the moment with Matthew Earl from Goodwood C1 side. He kicked 12 last week, so a few big bags last week. He's also on 18. We'll take out Josh Stark. We figured he's probably kicked 7, not 17 goals. Other than that, we've got Darryl Wren from Broadview's Div 8R side. He kicked 15 goals last week to make his total 15. Then we've got Shane Stone from Henley's Div 7 reserve side. He kicked 10 last week to make his tally 14.
Stoner.
The McDonald brothers, who kicked 25 goals between them last week, only managed 3 between them this week. They're on 13, along with Mick Gilling from Hope Valley and the Div 5R side. Rack off, Hosey. And he kicked 3 last week, bringing his tally to 13. So I reckon we might get to the 100 fairly quickly this year. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I'm on course, Lee, so if I can do it, anyone can do it.
So,
a lot of things happening on the side here. This is high quality television.
Just before we go, a couple of really big milestones happened last week.
Huge!
No, massive. Big ones. Goodwood, a bloke called Nick O'Connell actually set it up for his 450th game. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any further information on that, so hopefully I'll get that during the week and we'll see what we can bring to you. And also from the Teatree Gully Football Club, Patrick McCauley suited up in the A grade, mind you, for his 250th game in that nail-biter of a loss as well. So bad luck to him, he couldn't get the chocolates on his milestone game, but congratulations to both of those guys.
A fair effort indeed. Now, we're not sure where we're going to be next week, are we, Lisa?
No, we just might rock up at Chill Club.
But we will be at clubs on a Tuesday night, and we look forward to seeing you at a club sometime very soon. Thanks for watching Grassroots Online again.
See you next week.
Goodbye.
Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy. That's good.